Welcome to Friday Fire with Dr. Keisha B. Spivey, where you discover how to live life on max in Jesus.
To his voice, because you just a dumb sheep like the rest of us. You have no idea where to go. You have no idea when to lay down. You have no idea when to get up. You have no idea what to put your hands to. You have no idea what direction destiny's in. If you're not listening to him speak. If he's not guiding you, there's some things that look real good that ain't for you. There's everything that glitter ain't gold. And everything that sparkle ain't a diamond. Cupric zirconium's floating around here. All you gotta do is look at all these teenagers who got all that stuff in their ear. I'm like, if you realize that was a 4 carat and what that really cost, you wouldn't perpetrate. Because, you know, they're thinking a fake is just as good. How are you able, as a child of God, to differentiate what is right and what is wrong for you? How are you to know which path, when they both look good, is your way to go? How do you know which job to take? How do you know who to marry? How do you know how to correct and discipline your children? How do you know to be patient with your parents when they're not doing what it is that's lining up with the book? How do you know if you're not listening to his voice? You don't know. And you're allowing the voice of the world to tell you where to go. When you're watching TV and all you're watching is soap operas, you're allowing the soap opera to speak for your life. You move in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. And you want to know why your life is a drama. Jesus. Come on. If MTV, BET, I don't even know all that stuff. If that's speaking into you, then it's telling you to cut off your shorts and drop your shirt. It's telling you your jeans ought to be so tight it look like somebody painted them on you. Why? Because you're hearing that so much that when you go shop, that's what speaks to you. You have to know the voice. You have to recognize the voices that's speaking to you. You have to know, is it of God? And here's the thing. He wired all of us with the discerner. And all you have to do is ask, is this of you, God? And then he'll answer. But you have to listen. Quit assuming. Y'all know what they say about assume. For those of you who don't know, ask somebody after church. Ask Lou. She first lady said she'll tell you. She'll tell you. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Do you recognize his voice? Do you recognize his voice? Do you? And answer this inside too. Do you know his voice? And here's the thing. An indicator of whether or not you know his voice is if you've already heard it this morning. If you haven't heard it lately, you don't know it. You don't recognize it. Because he's speaking. He's talking. He's directing you. He's wired in you. If you haven't heard it lately, you don't recognize it. 1 Samuel 3:9. I love this. Therefore Eli said to Samuel, go lie down, and it shall be, if he calls you, that you must say, speak, Lord, for your servant hears. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. I recommend you read that whole chapter. I knew I wouldn't have time to really get into it today, but we have a case where Samuel is laying in bed, and he hears a voice. He wake up, and he's like, okay, Eli, you call me? Eli like, no, I ain't call you, go to bed. He hears the voice again. He wake up, Eli, you call me? No, I ain't call you. But then it gets to the point where he says, hold on a minute. That voice you're hearing is the voice of God. When you go back down and you lay down and you hear it again, you say, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Here's what I love. God didn't stop talking to Samuel when he didn't recognize it. He kept right on talking until a man of God told him what it was. I've come by New Destiny today to tell you that that voice you're hearing that's calling you out of some stuff, that's calling you into some stuff, that's saying to let go of some things, that's telling you what you need to do, that's the voice of God. Quit muting it. And lay there and say, Lord, your servant is listening. Speak. What he's aiming to tell you will change your life. It changed Samuel's life. Amen. All he had to do was tune in. Think about it. He was talking all night. But Samuel didn't know. He's talking to you right now. But some of you don't know. You're waiting for the next big thing in your life, and you're missing out on divine appointments. Here you are trying to get in with the head man so you can impress him, and he's saying, won't you hang out with this man? Because my favor opened doors that you can't get in. My glory on your life will make ways you won't recognize. My yes can't be stopped. You have to listen to his voice. And if you've never heard and you've never listened, start worshiping. I don't know, Lord, what you're trying to say, but I'm going to worship you with all my heart, in spirit and in truth. And I'm going to believe with every ounce of my being that you're going to speak into my spirit. And it's going to be a rhema word for me. Worship. When you start emptying out of yourself and you yield to him and you surrender to him and you make yourself available to him, he'll begin to speak things in your mind. He'll begin to unravel mysteries. He'll begin to give you revelation. He'll give you witty ideas. He'll give you creative inventions. He'll tell you places to go and things that don't make sense to your rational mind. But how many of you understand his ways are not our ways? His thoughts are not our thoughts. His timing is not our timing. So it's time out for us trying to do it our way. Time to just tap into him and let him tell us. Let him show us. Let him reveal the master plan, because he's the one who wrote the end of a thing from the beginning. When you want to know how something works, you go to the manufacturer. You don't ask somebody created just like you, because they don't know. When you look up the word hears in Hebrew, it's called shama. It means to listen or obey. It implies the listener is, excuse that typo, giving his or her total attention to the one who is speaking and obeying what is said. It means it goes beyond the ear gate. When you are hearing and tuning into God's voice, it means you are now a surrendered vessel, totally available for his use. Not only am I going to hearken and hear what you're saying, I'm going to ingest that thing inside of me. And I'm going to do all that I can do to be obedient to the word that you've given me, so that the fruit of what you said is mine is coming to pass. I'm not going to just take it and say, let me think on that. No, I'm going to take it and say, God, if you said do it, I have enough faith to believe that your word is true. You've never failed me. You've never left me. You've never forsaken me. So I'm going to step up out of this boat and do what you said do. Some of us are sitting in the boat on the shore. We ain't even got out in the water yet. And you're watching everybody else swim. Everybody else go out. Everybody else's ships are going, and you wonder, what about me? What about me? I don't understand, Lord. I'm obeying you to the best of my ability. I'm doing what I think you said do. But he said, the last thing I specifically spoke to you, you ain't been obedient with that. So why are you asking me for the next step? I can't trust you with the last word that you heard. And here you are wanting a fresh one. Here you are mad at me and Pastor because we still speaking on the Holy Spirit, and you ready to go on to something different. You ain't got this. Because if you got this, you want more of it. If you got this, it become a part of you. If you got this, it would empower you. If you got this, it would equip you. If you got this, your head would not be hanging down. If you got this, you'd be going deeper. You're trying to get ahead of us. So when you get here, your baby leap. When the word comes forth, it's got something to attach to. Instead, you coming in here with a daggone empty container, want to suck up next to me and suck up next to Pastor for us to pour, because you've been too lazy to get your own water this morning. You ain't getting my orange juice. This is my juice. It's for me. If you want some juice, what you need to go do? Go get you some. That's how you go from glory to glory. It's time out for this dimensional living. What's dimensional living? Paycheck to paycheck. If I can just make it to Friday, if I can just make it to the first of the month, I'm going to be just all right. If I can get $10 worth of gas to get me through the next couple of days, I'm going to be all right. That's dimensional living. He's called us to go from glory to glory to glory. He's called us to represent him. He didn't call us to survive. Don't call me a survivor. I'm a thriver. And here's the thing. I'm thriving no matter what my circumstances say. Because this does not define me. It does not restrict me. It is not who I am. So you keep looking at what you see in the natural. What you don't realize is what the Spirit of God is talking to me in the supernatural. What you don't realize is what he's bringing me to. What you don't realize is what he's already prepared for me. So you keep right on looking here. And when you look later, how did it happen? Because I hearkened the voice of the Lord. Hearken to the voice of the Lord. So while you sitting here watching, you better get to listening. What is he saying to you? Hebrews 4:7 says, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. What is he saying to you about your heart? What is he saying to you about all that unforgiveness? What is he saying to you about that bitterness? What is he saying to you about that fear, that doubt? What is he saying about your heart? How hard is it that you can't hear? The ground can't even be, what do you call it, palatable when you start plowing through it because you're so mad. You're angry. You're bitter. What is he saying to you today about your heart condition? He's trying to get things to you, can't even get it in the ground because you're not open. Because you're not listening to what he's saying about your heart. Don't worry about my heart. Check your heart. Don't worry about Apostle's heart. Check your heart. Don't worry about First Lady. Check your heart. Get out of my business and get in yours. What is he saying about your heart? Quit looking over here and look in the mirror. Revelation 3:20 says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man do what? And open the door. What doors is he telling you to open? What doors has he already orchestrated for you? And he's saying, go here, go there. If you listen, and what I love about God, listen to me, ladies, especially if you're single. God says, I'll be the man in your life. I'll open every door for you. That's a good place to stay in. You don't need a man to open your door. God's got it. You don't need a man to pay your bills. God's got it. Right now, you don't have a man to lay hands on you. God's got it. He says, I'll be the man in your life. I'll open every door. Every door. The doors that appear to be shut and openable. He says, I'll open them. That's what he says. And here you are sitting down on your bed with your slippers and your hair rollers on. Don't even know where the door at. Can't see clear, looking like a hot mess. And here he is saying, get up, clean yourself up, wash yourself off. That husband that you're believing for is standing behind door number 3. And here you are crying over this ragamuffin that didn't mean you no good, won't go nowhere, wouldn't pray for you, won't lay hands on you, and you over here feeling beat down when I got this for you over here.
I hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. Join us next week, same place, same time. And until then,
may the fire on your altar never burn out.